Alcohol and pregnancy. Pregnancy begins when an egg is fertilized by a sperm. When these two cells combine, they share DNA, forming a zygote, which begins to divide into more cells. The zygote then travels into the uterus, where it is implanted in the uterine wall and grows. After 10 days, it becomes an embryo, which is surrounded by a fluid-filled pouch called the amniotic sac. A placenta begins to form and attaches to the embryo via the umbilical cord. The placenta transfers oxygen and nutrients from the pregnant person's bloodstream to the embryo through the umbilical cord so it can grow. The embryo grows and develops into a fetus around the 9-week mark. The fetus will continue growing from then until it is ready to be born around 31 weeks later. Alcohol circulates your body through your bloodstream. The placenta delivers nutrients to the growing fetus via the bloodstream. The placenta is unable to filter out alcohol, meaning that if the blood has alcohol in it, the developing fetus's body is exposed to alcohol as well. The fetus is extremely delicate and cannot tolerate alcohol during the careful development of its vital organs and systems without experiencing impacts. What do you think is the safe amount of alcohol to drink while pregnant? It is E. There is no known amount of alcohol which is safe to drink while pregnant. Research shows that even just 1 drink per day can have serious health impacts on the developing fetus. So, why do people drink while pregnant? There are many reasons. However, one of the most common is that they don't realize they are pregnant. Close to 50% of pregnancies in Canada are unplanned, and as such, individuals are unaware that they might need to change their drinking habits. Symptoms of pregnancy often go unnoticed in the early stages, and as we know, any amount of alcohol consumption at any point during pregnancy can be damaging to the fetus. Some individuals may be unaware of the risks of drinking while pregnant. They may have received mixed messages about alcohol use during pregnancy, especially from older generations, as it used to be common practice to drink the occasional glass of wine while pregnant. Fetal Alcohol Spectrum Disorder is a medical diagnosis for a range of physical and neurological effects that result from prenatal alcohol exposure, which is when a fetus is exposed to alcohol in utero. Fetal Alcohol Spectrum Disorder, or FASD, is a form of neurodivergence and is a lifelong disability that impacts the brain and body of each person uniquely. Alcohol impacts the development of the fetus differently throughout the entire pregnancy, depending on when and how much alcohol is consumed. Alcohol affects the brain during all 3 trimesters, but affects the body differently. For example, if alcohol is consumed during weeks 4 to weeks 20, the ears may be affected. If it is consumed between weeks 3 and week 9, the heart may be affected. Any amount of alcohol consumed while pregnant can impact the growth and development of the fetus. There is no known safe amount, safe type, or safe time to drink alcohol while pregnant. FASD is estimated to affect 4% of the Canadian population. This means it is more common than autism, cerebral palsy, and Down syndrome combined. Someone with FASD might experience challenges with learning, memory, communication, attention, emotional regulation, social skills, or motor skills. FASD is largely an invisible disability that impacts each person differently. People with FASD have unique strengths and needs, just like people without FASD. You likely know somebody who has FASD, although it's not always easy to tell if somebody is affected. People who drink while pregnant are not bad people. Many pregnancies go unknown in the early stages, especially unplanned pregnancies. There is no stereotypical person who drinks during pregnancy, despite messages that may be circulating in the media. People who are light, Moderate or heavy drinkers, or those who engage in binge drinking, can have a baby with FASD, as can people from all social classes, cultures, races, and education levels. Many people don't know the impact alcohol can have on a fetus, which is why it is so important to learn about these topics. In many cases, FASD is not 100% preventable. The only way that FASD would be 100% preventable is if alcohol were impossible to make or buy, if we changed our cultural practices around alcohol, for example, at celebrations or special occasions, if we prevented unplanned pregnancies, and if we made mental health and addiction treatment available for everyone, which is a lot. Many factors can influence drinking during pregnancy. Alcohol is commonly used as a coping mechanism by many people, including those who are pregnant and those who aren't, in response to many occurrences like addiction, mental health, isolation, lack of social supports, and more. The idea that FASD is 100% preventable as long as the pregnant person does not drink has led to an increased stigma for people with FASD and their families. This stigma may prevent people from accessing prenatal health care due to fear of negative repercussions, such as having their kids removed from their care. Receiving a diagnosis of FASD might be scary or seem unnecessary, and some people think diagnosing a condition limits one's potential. However, there are many benefits to receiving an accurate diagnosis. A diagnosis opens the door to receiving tailored support specific to your needs and abilities and allows you access to many resources and supports you may not have known existed or been eligible for. People with FASD have many unique strengths, and finding a community with those who are facing similar challenges to you can be extremely helpful. If you or someone you know is struggling with alcohol use, seek a trusted support person you can confide in, or ask them if they want help. If you or they are also pregnant, it is even more important to seek help to minimize alcohol-related harms like FASD. If you want to learn more about FASD, check out our online course, FASD 101, An Introduction to Fetal Alcohol Spectrum Disorder, available on our website, www.fasdnl.ca.